All right, thank you so much for joining us for your weather impact now. I'm Ruben Diaz, Chief Meteorologist Trevor Burchett. He's off for the week. Took a vacation. I guess the guy deserves a little bit of vacation every now and then, right? You're taking a live look outside on this Thursday. It has been hot. It has been steamy, as it has been all week long. But there are changes coming to the forecast. Let's take a live look right now. Let's check in with meteorologist Ryan Shoptaw for the latest.
Well, good evening. I'm meteorologist Ryan Shoptaw with the first look at weather. Today was another scorcher. We had daytime highs a few ticks above average in the middle 90s around Memphis and across the region. Now, as we move forward in time through tomorrow into the weekend time frame, less heat, cooler temperatures, slightly cooler, not by much, but definitely cooler, and more rain on the way as early as tomorrow morning. That's in our weather headlines. Some clearing into Friday afternoon and a little cooler, but not before some early morning rain. So basically between tomorrow at about 5 a.m. through about 10 a.m., there will be some pockets of rain and some thunder and lightning passing through the area. Much cooler next week as rain coverage remains high in this outlook into Monday and Tuesday. Matter of fact, here's a sneak peek. Rain chances on and off. Not a constant rain, but rounds of it through Saturday, Sunday, and into early next week. So coming up in that forecast, we'll talk about this in detail and how much rain we're expecting in the 7-day. Those details and more. It's coming up.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Now, take a look at this. If you haven't seen this video yet, that's a car. That's a tree. High winds knocked down this huge tree. This all happened in Chicago. You can see that it blocked the entire street at this point in time when this happened, and it then crushed the car. You can easily tell. The tree's roots also buckled the sidewalk after a round of severe storms that happened yesterday. Now, this is just one area that's been impacted in the rough weather that swept all across the Midwest. Reed Binion shows us how this left communities across several states with major damage and a ton of power outages.
There was occupants inside. There was residents in the main building that the roof came off.
Crews in Wisconsin responding to damage from violent storms that tore through parts of the state Wednesday.
Oh my God! Look at over there!
Storms also destroying this iconic Culver's barn. Communities coming together amid the damage.
Neighbors are coming together, as you can see, to helping one another out throughout the community.
Severe storms wreaking havoc across the Midwest, including at least 2 reported tornadoes, one captured on video in Lucerne, Missouri. Another possible tornado caught on camera just outside the town of Unionville. In neighboring Kansas, menacing clouds rolling over the landscape all across the horizon. Powerful storms uprooting trees. The wave of severe weather whipping up winds powerful enough to cause this train derailment in Minnesota. Violent storms ripping through parts of the state brought down trees and knocked out power for tens of thousands of customers. Intense storms also rolling through parts of Illinois, hitting the Chicago area hard. Powerful winds ripping part of a roof off a building and scattering debris on the street below, leaving motorists struggling to avoid the mess. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Now, some of the hard-hit areas are set to get hit again today during the final, potentially most powerful round of those storms here in the central U.S. A huge fire in Camp Pendleton, California has forced hundreds of people from their homes. You can't see the fire in that video. You saw the smoke. The fire has rapidly grown to 75 acres. Ryan Hill brings us reaction from evacuees as they relive the scary moments and the importance of getting their families out of that danger.
I jumped up from my desk and I ran to my boss and I said, I have to go.
Hearing there was a fire close to your home can send a wave of emotion throughout your body.
And I got in my car and I drove as fast as I could here.
As the November fire broke out, Taisha Parker raced to her and her husband Foley's home by the Oceanside Golf Course.
So as I was coming up, I can see the fire on the mountaintop and all the smoke. And then they were evacuating the golf course. It was about a little bit over a half a mile from us.
They grabbed their dogs, Daisy, Miley, and Oreo, and came here to El Camino High School, the makeshift evacuation point for those impacted by the fire.
I didn't think it was going to be big, I didn't think it was going to be right behind us, until I went outside and checked out and it was right behind us. Didn't think something like this was going to happen, and we didn't know what to do in the moment because, something that we aren't prepared for.
For Alexandria Lopez, it was a surreal moment seeing a fire raging not too far from their home, rushing to get out with what's important.
As long as all of us are out there and together and with the animals and things like that, I think that's all that matters, because everything else is replaceable.
It's okay to let go. Sometimes disasters happen and you have a chance to do something new. My main concern was my family, stuff I can always replace.
Great message there. All right, taking another live look outside on this Thursday. It is about 6:35 on your Thursday evening as you're getting ready to maybe head out, grab some dinner. We'll be back with much more Weather Impact Now right after this.